Good evening. As we go to air, it's still 36 degrees in Brisbane and the temperature is just starting to fall from a top of 38 at 3:30 this afternoon. It was just short of a decade-old December record. Jonathan Lee is at one of our hottest spots, King George Square. And Jonathan, the heat also caused some chaos.
Yeah, it certainly did, Georgie. A party nearly turned to tragedy on the Gold Coast, where a man celebrating his 30th birthday suffered a seizure and nearly drowned. Fortunately, though, his mother was there to save him. A dog also suffered in Brisbane and had to be put down, suffering severe dehydration. But here in the city, there really was no escaping the heat, especially in King George Square. King George Square, Brisbane's red centre. It's concrete, a sizzling 61 degrees.
You really think about it, like it's just concrete. It's all concrete. There's no green, there's no shade, very little shade.
On the Gold Coast, a birthday celebration nearly turned fatal for a disabled man.
He was exerting himself too much, swallowed too much water and couldn't get his breath. He was going blue, he was passing out. And I banged him on his back to make him breathe.
Tragically, a neglected dog found in Stafford had to be put down.
It was primarily heat stress, but also it had a very bad flea infection, so it had been badly neglected.
It was warm before dawn. The mercury climbed to 35.7 degrees at 11:40, but hot westerly winds pushed the temperature to 38 just prior to 4 o'clock.
It's still the hottest December day since 2005. So even though it was about 34, 35 degrees, it felt like that 38, 39 degree mark.
The Raw trained for just 40 minutes at 8:30 this morning.
The guys all sitting there with their ice vests on. They'll get the fluid back in them.
The west sweltered. In Ipswich, it reached 38 by 1 o'clock. How much water are you drinking?
God, about 600 ml every 10 minutes. I'd say we're going through it each. It's just ridiculous.
It was perfect weather for a roadside barbecue and a swimming carnival at Middle Park State School, where students weren't complaining.
Just a resurrection second.
The only place cooler was on the ice, much cooler at 8 degrees. But if anybody was going to enjoy the heat, it should be these guys. It's hard to refuse a hose and a slice of fruit.
Just like humans, the animals get hot too. It makes them uncomfortable. So the biggest part of our job today is making sure all of our animals are happy and healthy.
For the rest of us, the place to be was the beach. Old-fashioned fun for everyone. Now, Georgie, I've just spoken with Energex. They say our current electricity demand is running at around 4,350 megawatts. They say it has plateaued. That's still down around 300 megawatts on our all-time high in February 2010. But they say the peak period will continue tonight till around about 8 p.m.
OK, thank you, Jonathan Lee, there in King George Square.